So here we are, I've got the dreaded boot leak. I've just pulled off the trim back here, just over there. Just lifted up the bit of mat. So I'm just syringing the water out at the moment. I'm sure, don't know whether there's a plug under there or these are plugs, but I'm just going to syringe it out for the time being. Get some paper towels, dry it off a bit. Right YouTube, so you find me on a very rare sunny day, actually quite warm in February. Well, it's right at the end of February I think, yeah. So I've got the E46 out of the garage, so I've managed to get the FN2 in it. So we're going to try and strip the boot out to try and find where we're leaking from. Get that one fixed, and then I've got to do the girlfriend's Type S as well, so no rest for the wicked. So far I haven't really taken much out, to be honest. I've put the seats down, just started removing this plate, which is this one, and the covers off the top of the struts, and then this plate that goes along here. So I've shown some pictures at the beginning of the how much water has been getting in the boot. I can see from the paper towel it's obviously coming in down here. And I did notice some water up by the strut tower, top of the strut tower. So I've got a feeling it's going to be coming from the roof rail, running in between the metal and somehow coming down here and just continues down here, but we won't know until we strip it all out. So I've seen people have problems with these two bolts, with them just snapping because they're seized in. So I'm going to try, so I can't get a blowtorch on them because it's just going to melt the plastic, so I think I'm going to try and tighten it a little bit first, see if that'll free it up, and hope they don't snap. One down. Yeah, so that one snapped. Good bugger. Thought I was doing so well. Thankfully it looks alright. I've seen some right nasty ones with rot all up here. So yeah, could be worse. Maybe I've caught it just as it started happening. So what I've done, yeah, and this is the rear left side. So I've pinged it away from the body I think I'm just going to leave it at that because I can get to everything, I think, that I need to just by pulling it away rather than taking the whole thing off. So you can kind of see where this is being attached, where the clips are that go into the bodywork. And we've got another one up here which goes in there. And then if I climb in, I've got these little clips up here, which I didn't know whether I'd broken them, but I think they're supposed to look that small. There, and you just sort of see them working their way along. So you can unclip it from this pillar bit of plastic here, and then where your rear doors would be, you can see another clip there, and then there's another one over there in the distance where it connects to the bodywork. So that came off quite free. It just, you know what it's like, it doesn't really feel natural tugging away at these flimsy bits of plastic. So yeah, I'll get the driver's side off to a similar degree as well, and then probably get the roof rails off, and then maybe pour a bit of water on it and see if I can track the leak. See, it's off enough for me to be able to get in there and do anything I need to. Just remember to unplug your light and your 12-volt supply at the back. Just realised how flimsy the floor is here when I was... I don't know whether you can see that. Yeah, so be careful where you stand. Make sure you stand on this solid bit in the middle. So what I've been doing is pinging out the end of this. Although when I did it on the other one, I couldn't really see what benefit it had, but sure there must be. So I start from the middle, the side that's nearest the centre of the car. I can just get my fingers in and pry it away. You can see the clips. This one's got the one right on the end, which moves when you pull that thing out, although I don't really understand how it helps all that much, because if I slide it out, it still seems to be clipped on. So anyway, I don't know. Got 1, 2, 3 other ones. Then you can start seeing the spaces for the windscreen. So I'm just looking at the edge of the roof where we tend to get the dreaded rust. So I can see there's a very pale line there. I can't tell whether that's paint. It doesn't look like bare metal. Maybe it's the undercoat. Maybe I need to just treat that, or I don't know, I think it's just undercoat, so maybe I'll just put a layer of paint on it before it wears through to the metal. I don't know. I'm sure someone will tell me in the comments if that needs treating or not, but to me I can't see metal, I can just see what looks like the undercoat, so maybe if I put a line of paint all the way along, maybe it will last a bit longer. Right, so it's a different day now. All I've done is just tie up the plastic rails on the roof of the car just out of the way, like that. So I'm going to leave, I've been trying sideways to pull the trim off completely, but I think I'm going to leave it where the windscreen is, because there's not a lot you can do anyway, to be honest. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to. I haven't got any batteries in my light, it's pointless. So you can't really, there's not much you can get to in terms of the metal work in there without taking the windscreen out, I guess. So I'm just going to concentrate windscreen back, so I'm going to have to give that a good clean. Thinking I might as well tiger seal the whole strip, but I might change my mind. That's the plan at the moment. I've seen other people tend to do that's a bit dark, the last bit, that tends to be the worst bit right on the end, but I don't know, might as well do the whole thing, I don't know. Oh, shall we go? I've just pinged the trim off, whatever you want to call it, the little plastic cover, so you can get to the screws for the rear light. So it took so long trying to get this off because I was a bit scared I was going to break something. The camera went off. But basically, you've got those two screws, which are nice and obvious, and then at this end, you've got that little white trim thing. That doesn't work, does it? You see that little white bit there? That plugs into that hole there. So if you push with your finger the tip of the white bit from inside and pull the light cluster backwards at the same time, it seemed to come out then alright. Probably worth just chucking a cloth or some paper towel between your cluster and the bodywork, just in case you walk past and knock it and put a little scratch in. This is where you could do with some compressed air, really. Bugger. Might want to shut your windows first. He says as he just carries on without shutting his windows. I'm not going to take all of this off. I think I'm just going to take all the loose bits off and any of the crappy looking bits. So I'll just go over these, I think. So I've cleaned in as much as I can, and just wet wiped it as well. So I've dried it, but the sensible part of me says to leave it a bit longer. Obviously I just want to crack on with it, but yeah, the sensible part of me says leave it a week or so to dry, because it's pretty cold at the moment. I've just pulled out as well that grommet there, and that one up there. So I'll seal around those as well. I'm not going to take this apart just yet. What I might do is do everything else, and if it's still leaking, maybe have a look at taking this off, doing some more sealing. At some point I want to take my lights out and maybe seal them, because I get condensation in them. There's a bit of the old typical green mold growing in there, so that's a job for another day. So for most of it I'm using Tiger Seal. It's what I've read on the forum, seems to be the sealant of choice. And I've also got a bit of bathroom sealant, which I was thinking about this the other day, because I was thinking I need to, oh yeah, by the way, I've taken the actual light clusters away now just to get them out of the way. And I'm sure you're all aware that there's problems with, well, not problems, but you get mold, well not mold, algae even in the lights. So I was thinking, yeah, I can do a video around cleaning them. And I thought, well, if I'm, because the plan was to Tiger Seal, I don't know whether we can see that over there. I thought if I Tiger Seal that, it's just going to be a right pain to get out again. So I think I'm just going to use bathroom sealant. So a good idea would probably be to start with a box of gloves with you, a load of paper towel, so this is actually quite good for it. It's about the width of the channel. Not sure how big that is. Maybe 14mm, 15mm. It's a pry bar. Works pretty well for getting a nice flat finish. So I've been doing that for quite a long time now. Probably if you asked other people, they would say that you don't have to do underneath the whole roof rail. But I don't know, I just wanted to be sure that it wasn't going to leak from somewhere else. I think most people would just do the bit at the end there that you can see dropping down. But I've done, as you can see, the whole underside of the roof rail. I've done the other side as well, where it drops down and all the way to the rubber bit of trim there. I've also done here, which is looking a bit iffy there. I thought, why not, might as well. It almost looked like a bit of a crack there. Could have been the light, but I thought I'll just do that anyway. This bit was quite worn as well, so I've sealed that. I've obviously done it on the other side as well. And so what I was just about to put some silicone, so I'm going to put some under this bit of rubber here, and also this bit of rubber. We go to the other side where there's a light. So there. I'm going to put some silicone under that as well, and then some silicone eventually when I put the lights back in on the bit that goes through there. But I think I might as well use some clear silicone because I had some white stuff. And I'm not kidding myself, it's not going to stay translucent. It'll probably go like a horrible yellow colour, but I don't know, it's just going to be tricky if I put white silicone all around or underneath it. When I put it back in, it's going to squidge out around the sides and you'll better see it. And it's whether I touch it up with a bit of red on a paintbrush, tiny little paintbrush, or so I think I'll use the clear silicone around there and there's other few bits and see how it looks really. So all the bits that you can see once all the various bits of trim and lights are back in place, I'll prime them, paint them. Probably won't look that brilliant, but it's obviously better than white, and whatever kind of job I do, it's going to be better than a soaking wet boot. Alright, so that's me done for the day. My clear or translucent silicone been a right pain in the ass. I think it's all dried up a bit inside, so I ended up just, it probably looks shit, but at least you can kind of scrape it away. But we'll see. I just got pissed off with it in the end. It's been a right twat it was. So I've just got a load of clear silicone onto my finger and rubbed it around the edges, try and create a bit of a seal there. So that's the only one that you can actually see when everything's put back together. So because we can't see this bit, I've used white silicone around this grommet. I would imagine it's never going to leak through there, but I thought I got a bit carried away and just thought let's just fucking silicone everything, shall we? I think that's how I'll leave it then. And then, like I said before, I just won't really put everything back together. I'll just, in terms of the interior, and then I'll just go and park it in the rain somewhere and see if it leaks. So I just sprayed a bit of primer into the lid. Just watch out though, because it's quite runny. So have a bit of paper towel ready. So that's 3 coats of red now. It's just looking a lot less pink now. See, it looks pretty similar to the rest of the bodywork now, which is nice. I was a bit worried it's getting a bit pink, but I guess that's because you got the white undercoat, so it takes a few layers before it's properly red. So yeah, looking alright, pleased with that. So I was just editing this episode together, and I thought I'd come out and start doing the same job on my girlfriend's car. And I thought this time I'd do it a bit more fast and loose. So this is what I've done this time. So I haven't bothered pulling out the interior, because to be honest, you don't really necessarily need to know where it's leaking from. If you're just going to try and fix all the known spots where it leaks, then, you know, save yourself a bit of time and don't pull the interior out. So what I've done is ping the roof rail again. I've just tiger sealed that last bit there all the way around to the rubber seal. This right one really didn't want to release. Still don't get these things. So the underside of that, you can see that's got that groove which fits around that pin in the middle. So you'd think the groove would be the opposite way, so when you slide this out it releases from that, but it's kind of back to front, so I don't really get that. Really odd. So yeah, this side didn't want to release, so I always start from the middle, ping the middle out, and I had to raise this high enough and sort of pull it towards the front of the car for it to slide away from this bit. I finally managed to get it to release. The other side came out nice and easy. Didn't even feel like it was attached, to be honest. So yeah, a bit strange. So yeah, I've tiger sealed that. Tiger sealed across there and a little bit there. I've obviously done the same the other side. Once that's dry, silicone in there, or on the end of the light when I put that back on, our silicone there and there, and I've put some clear silicone around that as well. So that was obviously a lot quicker, because I didn't have to faff around undoing all this and snapping bolts and stuff. But I suppose it depends whether you want to find out where it's leaking from or whether you're just going to try and seal all known points of possible leakage. What I do, obviously finish the job and then go and park it in the rain. If it leaks, then I might have to actually try and figure out where it's coming from. This one is a bit of a funny one because it's hardly leaking at all, so it's going to be trickier to spot where it's leaking from. Whereas my FN2 was leaking quite a lot. So if this all works out alright, we've got no more leaks, then this will be a one-parter. But if I'm still leaking, we might end up with a two-parter, or three, hopefully not three. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.